Well, yes, thank you guys for tuning in once again for another episode. We are on episode 25. We are a quarter of the way to 100. Thank y'all for showing up every single week. Today we are interviewing Mr. Blake Showers. Some people know him as Blake OBK. He's an amazing artist. He's a muralist, graffiti artist. He's an educator. He's a mangaka. He's got a web comic called Four Strikes out. Man, he's just got a ton of stories, a ton of knowledge, and man, I'm excited to get into his story and into his experience. We've been pretty good friends for a long time now, but we haven't really talked like this in many years. So, yeah, let's go on and get the show on the road, man. Man, welcome to the show, man.
You for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, same here. I was just telling people about how we just had a conversation yesterday doing our little tester. I mean, the subjects already got to real places. Like I wish people were I wish people would have heard just the tester, like it was already getting real that fast.
Yeah,
And
I feel that. Yeah, we were chopping it up.
For sure. And I was also telling him about like how long it had been since we really had the chance to just talk for a minute. And it'd been, I mean, the better part of a decade at this point. It's been about what, 7, 8 years now. Crazy to think.
Yeah, a lot of change, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah,
Absolutely,
it's been a
man.
minute, and it's crazy thinking about it. Like that's a long period of time to just be doing the same stuff and like be in the same field and just elevating in that field because things are just so. I don't know. It's just rapidly everything is changing so quick, but we're still like getting to do the things that we like, but in different avenues. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Cause like we've kind of, I mean, I think from where we kind of met in like an online community where like it was a little group of us. I'm not exactly sure how, I can't remember how we all got to knowing each other in particular, but
Mhm.
we were all, I think it was maybe through Johnny. Like everybody had like they all just had this
Johnny.
big like circle,
Yeah.
and we were just posting all the time and like hyping each other up, or just we would do a lot of fan art of each other's characters, of our own characters and things like that. Man, it was always a good time though. Like it was
Yeah.
always like it kept us going, kept us consistent. Like
Mhm.
I felt like I was always trying to put something out, to see what y'all think.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like good because it was like somebody that looks like me, somebody that has like some of the same interests. It was like, oh, you think it's fire? I think yours is fire. It was just like everybody just building up on each other, and yeah, everybody's still killing it. It's nice to see.
Yeah. Do you think that like with all the time that's gone, like I don't know, I don't like to call myself a master. I don't feel like I'm a master of anything. But
So
like but you can get to a point where like, okay, I've been doing this for so long, I can basically move freely through. Like, do you feel like you're at a point where you're like free in your craft? Like you can kind of make whatever you want without any restrictions. I feel like that was a big thing for me in that time.
I think now more than ever, it was a lot of like it felt like training. Like now I could kind of like even like just with really like now I'm spray painting a bit more. Now with spray painting stuff, it's not like as like complex as it used to be. Like I can just kind of say, oh, I know my repertoire. I know what I like. I know what color schemes go together, and it is a lot more easier to kind of stunt. Like I don't have to like really pull nothing out. I'm like, oh, this thing, and I'm like, no, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and then we're done. Like I feel like we're like on video games where it's like, oh, this part of the map was super hard. Now it's just kind of like I blow through that, but I still want to kind of see if I can try a new class or something else, but still like do it with that same attitude, I guess, not making it boring, but more so being like, okay, I was cool at this, but let me tweak it up a bit. Let me use like a fire element or like a water element with the stuff I already do.
Yeah. Does it feel like New Game Plus?
Yeah, it does feel like new game sometimes. And,
you
like,
know?
that being the cool part, like, I like a challenge, and sometimes, like, I'm sure you do it too, like, we'll make challenges for ourselves just so it kinda stays like how it was when we started, and it's not just, like, the same, like, "Oh, yeah, I did the thing, that's it." It's like, "Nah, let's do the thing, but with a twist, or do the thing, but with a friend."
Mhm. That kinda brings me to a question too of, like, I'm wanting to know where it all started for you. And I don't necessarily mean like, oh, like I was born and then I had this, and but more so if you can look, if somebody could like boil all of that down to like this one, or if they can kind of peel back all the layers that you had that you've grown into, what would be
Mhm.
that very first thing for you? Like what's at the core of all your creativity?
I'd say maybe it's, like, 2 instances for me. I remember I was, probably kindergarten, and we would wake up around, like 6:30, you had to be at school at 7. And I remember probably the first anime I watched, it was Sailor Moon because it came on in the morning. That was kind of low key like the alarm bell. It was the "doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo." It was so different to me because you don't well, back then you didn't see a lot of girl superhero-esque type of people like kicking ass. And that was, like, what she did every week, and also, like, in that same block, you would see, like, Pokemon, so that was, like, another thing too where I was like, "I like cartoons, but this is, like, a different kinda cartoon."
Mm.
And it was I was born in, like, '93, so, like, I grew up, like, in the latter part of the '90s, and it wasn't really like an anime channel. It wasn't like, oh, you can go to this specific place to watch anime. It was more so like you can see it on Cartoon Network. You might see it somewhere else, but I didn't know what it was actually called, but I knew it was different. And I think seeing that and how it was just different from normal cartoons, it just intrigued me because we had like violent cartoons, but it was more like Tom and Jerry, like, oh, he got hit with a mallet, not like killing a monster with like this beam of light or something like a Kamehameha, like going through a thing. Like it was a different kind of violence where it was like, oh, this is like tough. Like this is like a
Yeah.
drawn out fight. It's not like a oh haha. It's like no, like people are at stake, like lives are at stake. Literally, folks getting hurt, folks not coming back, folks losing limbs and stuff. And it was just a different kind of way to see things that I liked. And I would say maybe the second instance, I was in middle school and I was like into anime. I was into just that kind of stuff. And it was a name for that then, like Toonami was out. I was into graffiti and there was a lot of graffiti where I was at, but I was like trying to connect the dots and be like, why do I like this? How does it fit in? And there was a game called Mark Echo's Getting Up Under Pressure that came out around maybe 2008. I think 2000. I'm pretty sure 2008. And it was a video game where you just spray paint it. You would do trains, you would do layups, you would do tags, all this kind of stuff. And it was in a game, so it was something that I felt like I could do and not have to I was still a kid, so I'm like, I can't just do this out on the street, but it gave me the kind of lens of how a graffiti artist thinks. And I was like, oh, so this is why they do it, or this is how they do it, or these are the materials. I think it was that game that kind of connected the dots where I was like, yo, this is a cool like art form. It's like bigger than me. Like I was always drawing pictures or like things that I could like little things, but I felt like graffiti was something more than that. It was more like a domain type of thing. Like you could paint a wall and it's like a whole new place, or you could like paint somewhere and it's not like in a house. It's like in the environment where like the elements and everything are like attacking it. So it could change, it could not change, it could stay forever, it could be gone in a week. And I think those two instances were just kind of something that kept pumping life into me to say, hey, like you can do this all these different cool things, and but you can do them in so many different ways. Like you can make your cartoons, but make them like super cool and have a story. And you can make a painting, but you can make it like alive and like in somebody's face and interacting with your environment.
I'm I'm gonna make an assumption. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you started doing you started painting like at least in the graph sense through that game,
Yeah.
but then Were you drawing before then?
Yeah, I was drawing more. Dude, I used to draw some sick stuff. Like, I would draw like I found out about Newgrounds and stuff, so I
Oh
would draw
yeah.
a lot of violent things. There's this one. I wish I still had this picture, but it was this one picture and I wish I had it, but it was like 2008 back then. Everybody was wearing headbands, throwback jerseys and stuff. And I had this rabbit character, and he had like two guns, like very cliche. And I remember this picture being so tough. It was like him. He was like in front of a building with two guns. He had like I don't even remember what team, but it was like a throwback jersey, and he had a headband. And in the back, it was like two buildings and I forget the character's name, but I remember the building had like his name shot into the actual windows and stuff, but it was like bleeding.
Ooh.
Like what? Like my parents were really supportive of me doing art, but they still was like, let's see what he's like drawing because you want to check on your kids. And I remember they would they pulled me to the side. Like they saw the picture and pulled me to the side, and they were like, "We don't want you drawing stuff like this." And I was like pissed at the time. I was like, "This shit hard. What you mean you don't want me drawing like this?
You don't want me to draw the coolest thing I know?
This is going to be what gets us three houses. What are you talking about?" And like I get it from a parent standpoint, that's actually fucking crazy to see your middle school kid draw. And like we didn't have internet, we didn't have like if I was on the internet, I was either at the library or at school. So it was kind of like I guess really shocking to them because they were like, "Man, this kind of might have just came out of his mind. Like, is it something we need to talk about? Is there something going on at school?" And they were just being great parents. But yeah, that I feel like it was kind of just Boondocks, that kind of stuff.
Mm,
Um, Kingdom Hearts. I loved Kingdom Hearts. I drew a lot of Kingdom Hearts stuff. We had a desktop computer, and I would draw a lot of stuff like by mouse because we didn't have like all the like cool pads and stuff like everybody has now. So I would try my best to do just practice with the mouse, and like I'm pretty good at it now, and I was really good at it then. But it'd be like anime, graffiti stuff, Nikes, like oh my god, so many Air Force Ones, like that I would just draw and custom. I'm like, this one's a Green Lantern one, and this one is a fire one. This one's a Naruto one. Like it, I think I think the ADHD and OCD kind of just like locked in and was like, oh, this is good. Like it was like something we can grasp on and eat.
just milk it.
And it was like I didn't have internet, so a lot of the time I was just really thinking about stuff like without a guide, or either I would see something at school and have to just kind of keep it in my brain until like I got home. I think as a kid, it was more so figuring out how things worked so I could make it work in like my way. And yeah, I think that's where a lot of the creativity stuff was just coming from, like not having something out of necessity and wanting to get it or make it my own or make it my way. And I kind of still do things that way as well.
Mm. And out of those things, what made you want to pick up like a pencil or a paintbrush instead of like, why not try to go and make something like 3D or try to like customize something else?
I think it was more accessible back then. Like we always had paper, we always had pencil, and it was something that I knew that even my grandma would have at her house or even school would have. And I think it was more so a let me work with what I got with work with what I have and then build up. So like I could be real fire at drawing, but like once I left that, okay, I'm good at this, I can transfer that skill into another thing, kind of like how we were talking about earlier. And that's how it like kind of got with the computer stuff. I was like, I'm really good at drawing like this. Let me transfer that skill into the computer and see how I can kind of change that up a bit. I think as I got older, it was just more a safe place. Like I could sculpt stuff, but I felt like drawing and like just a pencil and a piece of paper was where I shined at. So I kind of was just like, let me kind of keep staying in this direction and try to kind of branch out a little bit here and there. Paper, pencil, that was like just the most accessible media that I had. And my parents, they would buy me things like they'd get me markers and things like that. And mom was she's an artist, and my dad kind of like just knew that I had this inkling to do that kind of that kind of art because they got me a lot of children's books when I was younger. And I think because it was back then as well, like you don't really think of art more so. Like you think of paintings and you think of drawings, and I think art still was kind of like, oh, it's just paintings and drawings, and it didn't really like level up until like the internet was like more popping and you could see different kinds of art forms.
Yeah. But then it's like you don't know what you don't know, I guess. And then once that comes out,
Exactly.
it's all
Yeah.
good. And with your family too, it sounds like your parents, I mean, from them buying you things to support your career and then even having like having them want to sit down and just talk with you and be like, "Hey, like what is going on here?" instead of like trying to punish you for it.
Uh-huh.
They sound like really supportive parents. Were you pretty
Yeah.
close? Were you big on family growing up? Stuff like that?
Yeah, I was really big on family. They were they still now they still are just really just interested in just like arts in general. And it would be so funny like and like I know my dad was hyping me up back then. Like I'd show him a picture and I'd be like, "Look what I did." He was like, "What?" Like every time it would fail, he'd be like, "What?" He's like, "You didn't do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Like it was hyping me up. Like he liked it that much. He couldn't believe that I did it. And yeah, that it's just moments like that that I remember when I have hard times or when I miss them. I'm like, oh man, like they really did like show an interest. And art is a very, I guess, hard thing to show an interest in or like get if you're like not in the know. Because some parents are like, the safe job, like, oh, artists don't make money. They tell their kids stuff at a very young age, and it makes the view of what they want a little lower. And I'm glad that they never did that. When I got into high school, they more so were like, hey, this is good, and we want you to, but we also want you to have a backup. And I think that's honestly a great um, piece of advice for any parent just saying, "Hey, have a backup," because anything could happen. Like you could lose your arms, or like you could find out you hate this stuff, or like something traumatic could happen, and all this work that you put in, you don't want it to go to waste, or you don't want it to, I guess, feel like you did nothing. And I'm glad that they told me about that because that was kind of how I got into teaching a little bit. I was like, well, this I love art, but I feel like I can and I didn't really realize this until adulthood. I was like, I love it, but I don't think I could do this full time as an artist, like just straight like art every day. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's intense. It's a very you wear a lot of hats. You wear a lot of hats. You're social media manager, you're a liaison, you talk, you're a seller, and you have to do all these things to hopefully sell something. And you could have the best stuff, but like if you can't talk about it, you can't network, it's gonna just kind of get lost in the sauce and people aren't going to see you. So I'm glad that they did have these talks with me that were very real deal talks. And at the time I probably took it like, man, I'm gonna just do straight art all the time. And there it got to a point where really the way that I got like all the recognition that I was getting is because I wanted them to see, hey, I can make a living out of this. Hey, I can do this. And it was never like they didn't think so, but I think I was just so stubborn. I think I was just so stubborn, really being like, no, I can do this. I can, which nobody said I couldn't. But I think when you're young and you're like figuring out your way in life and it was just one of those things where I was like, no, I have to show people like I can really do this. So when I was like posting, it was just like like I was making stuff like I'd hear a song, I'm like, I gotta make this. I was like seeing somebody dropping a mixtape, hey bro, I got you. Like it was just a constant like I have to show that I can do this. And I think that helped in a lot of ways, and I think that it might have hurt me in a lot of ways. But with them, yeah, they've always just been really supportive. my mom would always be like, "Hey, I'm not getting you out of jail if I get if you out there." And I'm like, "You're gonna get me. I know you would get me out of jail if I got jammed up." She just was kind of like, "Hey, stay
Like, don't
low," and
be
I
out
was like,
here.
"Yeah, don't be out here." Um, yeah, my whole family, they've been so supportive. Like my grandma, I was with her a whole lot because my parents worked during the night shift. And yeah, I would draw a lot of she has so many of my old drawings. Just anybody, they just saw that it was something I liked doing and I did it for so long that they was like, damn, we just kind of have to support it. It's not like a phase. It's like this is just him all the time. Like in church, I was drawing uh the little what's it called? Not brochures,
uh
little pamphlets telling you about what's happening like that day, or like the little offering collection things. Like I was just drawing them, and it was just because like you're a kid, so you're in church and you want to like pay attention, and like sometimes the only way I could pay attention is just drawing and listening to it at the same time. So yeah, they're still great. My sister, she's really great about it. She's probably like the one of the funniest people I know, and she always like promotes me or telling me, "Oh, bro, this is fire." Like she's like it really everybody in my family just has been super hype and super supportive of me over the years, and like I always appreciate it because sometimes people don't get that and they don't see how far they can go.
some people got to fight their family just to they got to pick between the family and the art and like I mean I can't even imagine that kind of turmoil they must be going through.
And it sucks because it's like this is something that causes joy. Why are so many people resenting it? Why are so many people putting a limit on it? And so many people they'll be like, "Well, I couldn't do it," and it's like, "Well, you could do it. You just have to keep going." And I I hate sometimes how people get into it's kind of, oh, you can't do this because I can do it, or you can't do this because we like as black people. I don't see a lot of black people doing this. Like I've had people say like some weird ass crazy things like not a real man, real black man on skateboard. Like what, bro? Some of the best skateboarders are black.
What are you talking about?
And it would be like stupid stuff like that. Where like, damn, where that came from? And it's like you like where's that correlation? Like, I'm not really black because I can skateboard. I'm not really black because I can draw. Like, it would be a lot of weird old timey ways I would hear or hear from people saying like, man, I tried this, but people were saying this, and it's so sad because it's like, nah, dude, it don't matter like where you from, what you look like. It's like just do it. If you feel an inkling to do it, that's like the universe, God, telling you to do that. It's not like a oh just I'm just ignore it. Like you should do that if you feel like this is your thing. Like that's why this thing is your thing because you're put on earth to just do that or have some kind of way to do that or help people to do that. Yeah, it sucks when I hear people tell me those stories because it's like that one person could have changed a whole like trajectory just from being positive, or like one teacher or one family member could have really like hyped them up and they would have been somewhere completely different to where they wanted to be, and they got negativity and got fed that so much that it was like dampering their shine.
There's so much. I don't think that those people realize how much influence they have on children. I think like as an adult, you can just see a child and be like, yeah, that's just a kid or whatever, like so they kind of just treat them however. It doesn't mean that they necessarily treat them poorly, but it's just like
Yeah.
they don't take their words and their actions as seriously I think as they should sometimes because
Mhm.
that's a living sponge, like quite
Yeah.
literally they are absorbing everything and small pushes right now changes the entire direction of somebody's life and
Yeah.
I think yeah I think those moments are definitely a result of like them not taking that opportunity seriously and it that also made me want to bring up that topic of how many different ways can you be black? Because I feel like a lot of people think there's like one way, maybe two ways now. We're in 2025. Now it's two ways. to be black. And I feel like I mean, growing up, I was somebody who was I was encouraged to make really good grades, and like my dad used to take us to the library all the time. I was reading, studying stuff. So I was naturally
Mhm.
just smart in school. One of the
Yeah,
smarter kids. So you kind of talk proper. Now you're not black because you talk white. Now you talk like yeah, you talk white. You don't sound black enough and all that. And it's like why I gotta sound a certain type of way in order to like validate my color, you know? And I'm curious to know if you had any feel like that, you know, especially being into like games and anime, like were you like corny, were you nerdy? Like, because I've been called all of those things and more. I'm curious to know your experience.
dude, it was it's so sad because it's like we all could have just like got along. Like, dude, it don't matter hood, nerdy, preppy, everybody like Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, bro, we all can come to a common ground and say Goku beating the shit out of some cool as hell. You don't have to fight. And I think that a lot, like I was talking about before, a lot of the old talk where it's like, oh, you like cartoons, that's kiddish. Oh, you like this, you're and it's like it's bigger than that, dude. Like, I remember me and my friends, we would like all that stuff. Like we had Tamagotchis, we had like Beyblades, like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, stuff like that, and we'd get bullied for it. And it was like, I know that y'all like this same shit. Like it's so weird. It's like y'all put on this front where it's like, man, bro, a fucking blue eyes white dragon. If I showed you a blue eyes white dragon in like it just appeared, you wouldn't think that was the hardest shit ever, no matter what your social class was. And it was so sad because it was like a herd mentality where it's like, I like this, but I can't say it. Or like, y'all actually are cool, but I can't say it around my other friends. And I think that is a thing with all races that they are going to experience that in some kind of capacity. But I feel like with black people, it was just a bit harder because it's kind of a generational thing where it's like somebody told you not to like this because of a big reason. Like, oh, you can't cry because that's what girls do. But really, you can't cry because it will make you seem weak. And black people are not weak. So we do not want you to seem weak to others. And it sucks because that's the big reason, but it gets trickled down into all these little microaggression reasons that don't really make sense. So you can be tough and you can like all of this cool stuff, but if you show a ounce of vulnerability, if you show an ounce of soft, people are going to look at you funny. And it's stuff that we can't, like our generation, we can't control that because Black Power, we need to be seen as strong. We were treated so badly for so long and still are getting treated so badly. We need to show some kind of strength. So in like different cartoons I would watch where I seen black people, it's like you never would see like a in between like kind of us guy. It would always be like super like Steve Urkel, like a cartoony ass nerdy dude, or you'd see like Action Hank and Blade and Static Shock, where it's like, damn, they just cool for the sake of being cool. And it's like, you can be both. You can be cool and you can be tough, and you also can be smart and like all this other stuff. And I think that we grew up where it was really put down that like black people are cool and you got to be cool if you're black, or if you're not cool and black, we don't want to talk to you.
Right.
And I would see black people and I'm like, damn, well, I'm not like super smart. I don't like math. Like I'm smart, but I don't like math and do science experiments and all that. But also I'm not like grabbing people by the collar and punching them and growing a beard at like age 8 out in it. I just felt like very in the middle. And it took me really until maybe my young adult years to be like, oh, it's a third thing I can be, or like a fourth thing I can be amongst this. And yeah, I just feel like a lot of it is just not being around enough black people, not being around enough black people from different regions, not being exposed to just being yourself. and that kind of traps a lot of it still traps people now, but like I feel like that trapped a lot of minds back in the day that if you like this weird thing, if you like this quirky thing, is going to be seen as weird. You're going to be an outcast if you show any vulnerability. This word
Any of that
my
V, any of that V stuff, man. Can't even say it, man. I don't even want to say it.
you show any kind of feelings, it's going to look bad on you. It's going to look bad on your race. It's going to look bad on you as a man. And I think that it was just us not having a bigger scope of things, not talking to enough people, not showing enough people that hey, it's literally okay to be you. You can like all this stuff and find a community. It's hard. It's sad that it was like that, but now that I'm an adult, I can show kids, hey, you can like this stuff and be completely cool. You can get so many friends just from liking a thing. You can get so many colleagues from doing this thing, and it might not have been cool then, but like there's so many communities where you can just stunt and like anything and find somebody your race, your age, your gender, and they will like love that you love that stuff.
Especially on the topic of like talking to things like with other black men, just men in general. I think black men especially, but like just guys in general, we already just be kind of like we just don't really want to go there. We're not trying to, and I mean, I'm blessed enough to have like a circle of guys who like if I'm really going through something, even if it's
Yeah.
emotional, if I'm just tied up in my mind and my heart and my head, whatever, I can talk to these guys and like I can actually get a like some real counsel, and not just get a roast. You know what I mean? Like, some people
Like
just
really.
yeah, because man, for so long there'd be times. Oh man, in college, right? I was single. I'm trying to date,
Hmm.
and I might get stood up by some girl or something. I'm really like, in my heart, for real, I'm hurt because I'm like, dang, I done got stood up. Like, dang it.
Hmm.
But then like I go and talk to the dudes, and then they roast him. They making jokes, or they like, oh, like look, he back to. They used to have this. It's funny. They used to have this. In Dexter's Lab, the Back to the Lab again, like that
Oh
song.
yeah. Oh,
They used to
back to
just
the
play
lab again.
that.
Oh
They used to play that every time. I used to be so mad.
no. Valid thing to be mad. That's a fire ass song with valid thing to be mad.
I used to be like,
Jeez.
dang it, man, because there wasn't nothing I could do. It was like, I mean, I'm here, and but I found myself in a point where I'm like, oh well, I either have to face this and this song and these roasts and these laughs, or I hold on to it, and
Yeah.
it sucks where like, I mean, I think too over time it got to a point where like they had got to a point where it's like, okay, this ain't just like a one off thing. Like, okay, let's actually try to like put forth coins and help this mug. But but I think like I don't know, how would you advise someone to move, not necessarily the person that's looking for the connection, because I think that they're already doing a lot by reaching out to speak to
Yeah.
somebody, but what about the person who can't really sit well with somebody feeling sad or feeling like scared or just any sort of emotion that's not like anger, and people that always got to turn it into a joke, or they got to get they roast off but they don't necessarily want to help. Is there
Yeah.
anything you would tell them in terms of like being a better receiver when things like that come their way?
I was. This was something that was hard for me as well because I was firstborn, and I was always like the problem solver. So I was like I'm helping everybody with with problems, but I didn't know how to express mine because it's like, oh, you got to be tough because you're the first and you the oldest and this, and nobody
Mm.
was putting that on me, but it's more so like I felt like that was my role. And I feel like honestly just doing check-ins more daily, like, yo, bro, it's Friday, how you feeling? Like you could say it in a playful way. and they could be like, "Oh, I'm good." Ask them why they're good, or if they're bad, ask them why they're bad. And I think you can establish that just by having it be a more frequent topic and not like a taboo thing. Because when it's like, "Damn, bro, what's wrong with you?" It's like, "Cause y'all always doing this." Like it blows up because nobody asked before that. And I was really hard at telling my friends that because like I was a friend that helped with problems. I wasn't a friend that would tell problems. And like this is probably this is gonna be the most guyest thing ever. Like my friend Mitch, we've been friends. Damn, I feel like maybe more than 20 years. It's probably a little less than that, but like that's been like my best friend for like a hot minute. And I would just want to talk to him about stuff, and that's like my buddy that we just like joke, like we're like literally like Beavis and Butthead. We're like look, like in the mall just cracking jokes, and like both of us never really would, I guess, have a way to kind of initiate that because we were always like fun around each other. And if we were mad, we'd be like, "Man, that shit fucked up," and we'd be like, "Yeah," and kind of just move on from it. But one thing that helped me like kind of open up in general and open up with him is we would play Fortnite and we would just be in a match and it'd be me and him on duos and I'd be like, he'd be like, "What's going on, bro? How you doing?" And I'll be like, "It's good." And like I'm playing a video game, so it's like I'm kind of just telling him my stream of consciousness about what's going on. So it's not like a real wall there. It's kind of like I'm playing a game, so it's kind of like I'm just not babbling, but like babbling with a purpose about what's going on. And we can kind of more engage that way because it's like we're not face to face, so it's not like he has to see me like cry or anything, which he wouldn't mind, and I wouldn't mind seeing him do that. But it's more so, I guess, a good buffer to have that conversation and it mean a little more because it's just me and him on the duo. We're just doing a common thing. And I'll be like, "Yeah, man, the work is to your left." And then we go back to the conversation. And be like, "Man, shit, so, hey, you got any ammo?" Yeah, but anyway, like it's just it's a better way for us to kind of debrief and then not be so serious. And it helped us talk on the phone to have more serious talks and have more serious talks in person. And I think finding something common that you and your friend or you and this person have that you can kind of bond with and kind of start with that, it helps out a whole lot.
So real,
Yeah.
so true. Cause like all of those times that I think about, like when I was talking to the homies, like whenever they started to kind of come around and kind of chill out on that stuff, like it'll be like over games of
Mhm.
Overwatch. We'd be like between matches,
Oh,
and like
fire, fire.
we literally like we playing and then like oh, I got my ult ready. And then yeah, man, and she ain't never hit me back, dog. And like it's crazy. And it's crazy to see like that difference because then like it might be a day that whenever you do call them and y'all not on the game, you're more
Mhm,
so just continuing what you talked about instead of like trying to have this whole serious sit down. Like it's
mhm,
weird to kind of put us in that mode if you're not already there, but you kind of already like put your foot halfway in the door last night when you
mhm.
talking about it. So um it's a nice little segue into it. And what about the other side of that? Whenever
Like
you got
one.
somebody who ain't trying to talk about it,
Mhm,
especially because I got some homies who I know they got stuff going on. And I know you can't force nothing out of nobody. I'm not trying to force things out of people, but just to
yeah.
like when you know that you're like a safe place for somebody, but they may not feel as comfortable or as trusting of that. What's a way that you can, what would you advise those people who just have trouble with that?
I would say you can open up with something that you're dealing with, and it makes it a lot lighter for the other person because you could be like, "Man, I'm having girl problems, but I don't want to talk to like Mr. Cool Guy over here about it." Mr. Cool Guy could be like, "Yeah, bro, I just like got my heart broken up with and this, that, and the other." And it's like, "Oh, you get broken up with?" Like it makes it more, it puts you more on their level where it's like, "Oh, so I'm not alone feeling this. I should like you're my best friend and you're feeling this way." or like you're somebody I admire and you felt the exact same way and you put it into words that I might not have had. And I think it's kind of like that mirror thing. Like once you see like yourself in somebody or somebody sees themselves in you, it's easier to lower the wall a bit more. And I'm not saying like try to relate to them like, bruh, my girl left. It's like, nigga, my dog died. Like it's two different things. You can just kind of you can kind of adjust it just to where y'all are at right then or where they are more comfortable with. And I think just having that mirror moment, it can help make those times where he doesn't feel or she doesn't feel or they don't feel like they can speak on it. It makes it more like, well, this person, I see myself in them, so I can confide into them what I'm feeling because they can probably resonate or give me some kind of tool that makes me feel more ease to talk.
Sounds like you're kind of giving them that safe space, as
Mhm.
well as like it's like you're kind of like putting your foot in the water. Like, see, I'm not getting burned. Like, you
Yeah,
see, look.
yeah,
Hmm.
just right, warm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Okay.
tough because sometimes it's hard for people to open up because they've opened up to others and it's like, "Nah, funny," or I don't understand that. You're weird. So it could build up like triple, double walls for them to do that with somebody they are comfortable with. I would say just trying to just ease in a bit. Don't try to just all full at once. Try to get a problem down or try to get it out of them. Just little by little, like just chiseling away if you can.
Mm. Yeah, that's a big one. I was definitely that one. The one of like you tried it and then they went off or they went in on you and then you're like, okay, yeah, this is exactly why we don't do this to begin with. Putting four
Yeah.
locks next time. Hmm.
There's a
So I'll go for it.
there's a song I put out. It was for my like first beat tape, and it's called 400 Day 444 Thugging It Out, and it was kind of about this subject. And like I dropped it in maybe 2023, and I was just going through a lot of shit at the time. It was kind of like I didn't know how to not feel this way. I didn't know who to talk to, and I had people to talk to. I just didn't know how to talk to them about it. And like I just put a bunch of clips in. Like there's a Young Dolph song, and he's like, "Quit bitching, nigga. Quit crying, nigga." And like I put that in because that's kind of like my first thought is like, "Bruh, shut up. It could be way worse." And it's like it could, but also the feelings that you have right now are totally valid. Then I put like little funny clips into my music. Like it was a clip of Ricky Bobby, and he was like Dale, and he was like, I think it's Dale. I forget his friend's name. But he was like, "Oh, I'll just ball it up inside," and Ricky Bobby's like, "Bury it deep down and never talk about it again." And it's like that's kind of like those feelings that you feel. And then there was a clip of Katy Perry. She was like, "You want to talk about it, and you want to just say you're fine, but you're not fine, but nobody will like understand it because they're not you." And it was one of those like that I couldn't draw this shit out. Like I felt it was a lot of stuff I was just feeling. I was like, dude, no drawing is going to show how I'm feeling. No drawing is going to sum up what I'm feeling. So I had to like put it into like music. And then like I ended with like a quote from a lady in TikTok. She was like, "It'll be fine. You can take a breath and you can be sad, but like don't like stay in that sadness." And I think that's like my biggest thing when people talk about their feelings. It's like you want to bottle it up. It's like no, talk about it, scream about it. What you got to do to get it out, but don't like just stay in it. It's like get that out, get what you need to get out, but like keep going, keep being able to feel that or keep being able to share that because when you bottle it up, it's not going to be good. When you suppress it, it's not going to come out in a good way, and it's not going to come out in good ways when you interact with people.
Mm, so true. So true. And that song that you made, like, was the song like you were kind of were you making music and then it had the clips in it, or was the song like the compilation of the clips, or
Yeah.
use what was that format?
It was more so like a lot of times when I make music, I do a lot of sampling, and it was like this sample, like it was like a real jazzy, like noir type of, and I was like,
Hmm.
damn, I like this. I'm gonna use this. And a lot of times I have like a purpose for a song, or like I'll have like kind of a layout for a song. And I think it was just I had that in mind, and I was just like, how can I express how I felt? So I kind of just did the bottling it up, not talking about it, and being able to talk about it. There's a Neon Genesis sample in it, and it's like nobody understands me, and then um, it's like I think all three of the girls in the anime, and they kind of just are telling Shinji, they're like, nobody can really understand you but you, so you just kind of have to like go with the flow and just talk about what you're feeling or how you're feeling because like everything is just changing so much. You shouldn't just like bottle old things in. You should kind of just like pour it out. I guess like how I formatted the song was like how I thought about it, how how I was told or thought to thought about it, how I actually think about it, how I'm navigating these feelings and what I should actually do. And I don't rap or anything, but like the beginning of the song, I'm like, dude, like I'm like talking, but I like slow my voice down. I'm like, this shit suck. This shit feel bad. I don't know what to do. And I kind of just like dropped the beat then, and like that song is probably like my most like I think I got like 2,000 on SoundCloud from not SoundCloud, Spotify off that song, and that's like my biggest song. And it's weird because I like anytime I heard that song back when I was like in that state, I would cry, bro. Like it. I was just like, damn. I'm like really like, and it'd be like sometimes a good cry, sometimes like a damn. I was really like messed up here, and I'm so sad that he had to go through that, or like, wow, I really got through that through a song, and anything I wanted to say or do, it was in that song. And I think a lot of people just resonated with it. I think it was a sample. I think the sample was just a good I think it was just a good jazz sample, but I think people can also see like how hurt I was or how like distraught I am because like the thing I was talking about with the mirror, it's like you want to find someone or something that can make you feel like you're not crazy or make you feel like you're not losing it because we all have these feelings, but not a lot of people are going to share them.
God dang it. And
Sorry if I'm doing too much. I'm like,
no, 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 no. This is perfect. You're doing great. Um,
thank you.
it brings me to a good question that I've had, and like I'm still kind of working through this myself, but
Yeah,
in terms of using creation to get your feelings out or to like just kind of address certain mental things going on. It could be
yeah,
good, it could be something that's like really fun or really amazing that you want to remember, or it could be things that are like sad that you're trying to work through and process. But
yeah,
like I never thought that like the way that I drew was like adequate, like for this type of thing. Like it's like, yo, I
yeah,
like to draw freaking Naruto and like weapons and monsters. It's like if I'm having a bad day, I don't know how I'm supposed to how do I put my feelings into my work. And I know for you, you said like that was the reason why you chose or you chose a song
yeah,
instead. And I'm curious to know how, for one, how did it feel? Did it really feel like you were kind of pushing that? Were you able to feel lighter and feel like smoother after that? And
mhm,
um, how do you go about like addressing those things within yourself? Like for other people who like say they hear this and like, man, I want to do that with like what I have, but all I do is just like draw and paint. You know,
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh or something. It's like I don't know how to draw my feelings out. Like how would you what would you
yeah.
tell those people?
I tell them explore different avenues. Like when I dropped that, it felt like so great. Like I was just like, wow, this was the words I needed to express myself, and I couldn't. There wasn't a composition in my head where I felt like that would work. And I would say just try different media. Like I felt like that was kind of like my scrapbooking because I was taking different things that other people made and made a new thing. And I would say try things that you don't normally do, like maybe splatter paint, maybe mold clay, maybe do something with like some kind of medium that you don't normally touch where you're comfortable in and try to see what you can make out of something you're not really super versed in. And it was just something where it was like, oh yeah, like I've made songs where I just needed to get something off and like I didn't put them out because I was just like, I don't care what this person thinks. Like it just literally was for me to get it out. And if I feel that way again, I just turn it back on and be like, oh yeah, yeah, I snapped on that, and I can just kind of move on. And I think art is like that too. Like you can just make a picture. You could be your boss. You could draw your boss as a like a pig, and you could be like, I got my shit off. And when you feel bad, you be like, oh wait, this nigga's a pig, and you just and you just kind of you just kind of let it go like that. So I feel like just thinking of something that you can do or you aren't super versed in, that's probably the perfect way to express yourself because you're in a new world or something that you don't like have a formula for, like kind of like how we were already talking about.
Mhm. Mm. And so that is the way that you go about that's actually a really nice approach because there's times where like roasting them in your work can like you can go even harder than like than whenever you're like sitting there like more than you could ever say to like a boss or to a teacher. You're
Yeah,
doing all of that like right there on the page, which is cool. Um
big
and
fat meanie like SpongeBob did.
the what now?
The picture of Miss Puff and it says, "Oh, I think Patrick
Oh
did
yeah.
that," and it said "big fat meanie," and it, who really did that? That could brighten your whole day.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Cause then like you could just sit there and be laughing because then you just remember like what the drawing looked like.
Yeah,
And if you want to be messy, you could show a couple people and not them. And then
it's like,
then now
yo,
all of y'all laughing. You turned the whole
and then
situation around.
it's wholesome. It's no one.
Right.
It's very silly.
So then when it comes to capturing um positive emotions or just things that you really enjoy, um I think you spoke about it pretty early
Yeah.
whenever you said that you were looking at certain things that you enjoy and you were looking at why you enjoyed them, and you spoke about
Mhm.
like making things that you wanted to see, but like oh, I want
Yeah.
to, I enjoy this thing but I wish it was more like this, or I wish I could do this but
Mhm.
cooler. And I know that you're one that makes a lot of comics, and
Yeah.
you've done a bunch of animations as well. Can you tell me about maybe your first steps in when you started making your own characters and your own stories?
Yeah. I would say a lot of times I think about what I wanted back then, like what I wanted when I would wake up in the morning at 6 years old. Like I would want to see a character that looked like me, and I always see like just a lot of just dumb stuff on the internet where it's like, every guy likes Goku. Nobody cares what color he is. Nobody cares what race he is. It's like we can, okay, that's like the plateau, but it's like I still want to see somebody that looks black and does these things, and is not pink lipped and
Oh man.
crazy looking. I want to see somebody look like, dude, and that'd be like
Yeah.
my main thing. Like they're like, oh, it's like no, dude. I love Kira Toriyama to death. I do not like sometimes how he depicted black people, and I can say that as a fan. There's a guy in Red Ribbon Army. His name is Mr. Black. Like off rip, we don't even gotta
The name
imagine how he
alone.
looked. Look, first of all, got pink lips. Mr. Popo. I'm saying Mr. Popo isn't cool, but I would like him to look more pleasing to my palate. Kind of like how I look. And a lot of the times when I was making these characters, like when I made Malik for Four Strikes, or when I made Jamal from Tortuga Force 5, I was like thinking of people I wanted to see. And I didn't have a lot of that. And it was like again, like I don't want a tough guy, I don't want a super nerdy guy, something in between. And I feel like with both of like more so with Malik, that was kind of me in high school because he was cool, he was very scared, very timid. and he was put in situations where he was like, no, I gotta like figure this out, or I could lose my life, or I gotta figure this out so I can defeat this person. And I wanted people that look like us in these things because it's like it's and again with the internet, it's so odd. People have all these stupid, these dumb ass like arguments. They're like, um, there can't be black people in Star Wars. It's fucking Star Wars, dude. Like,
They got
there's
green
blue,
alien.
like we can have blue milk. Black Jedi? Hell no. Like, why is that so difficult for people to understand? Why is that so difficult? Why is that such a jump? And I want I love anime. I want to see more. Even now, there's a lot of animes with black people in it. I want to see more main protagonists that are people of color, black. I want to see that because there is a place for us. This guy can turn fucking blonde. This guy has a fucking demon in his hand. I think the smallest thing we could do is make one of them fucking black and like a good representation of black people, like not just like, oh, this cool ass dude and never talks and is fucking bald and pink. Like, no, there's so many varieties of black people. There's so many varieties of black hair. There's so many varieties of just all over the diaspora you could pick from. Like it, it bothers me so much because it's like all this fanciful stuff can happen, but not a black main character. Like
Right.
with and it sucks. Like Saturday AM, that's why like I love them. I love they're like my family. They get it. Fred gets it. White gets it. Like everybody over there gets it. It's like we're not. And sorry, I'm all the shit that I've been like just thinking about is coming. Like
You're good.
we're not we're not like forcing a thing. It's just like, here's his character, they happen to be black. Here's his character, they just happen to be this or that. It's not like an agenda thing. It's more so like these people are this and happen to be this. And you can tell with a lot of things that you read if this character is like a genuine character or this was just like a diversity hire character where it was like, black friend, and that's it. That's all we know about him. And it's like, no, dude, it's like you can do this stuff with care. You can do this stuff where it makes sense. You can do this stuff where it is where it's genuine. And anytime I make stuff, I make sure it's like a genuine black character. And I make sure that I do research. I make like even with Tortuga Force 5, like I wanted it to be black people in Atlanta. I did research about Atlanta. I did research about different neighborhoods in Atlanta. Like Jamal Shabazz, he's like one of the people that we grew up with. I wanted
Mhm.
it to be I wanted his name to be Jamal because Jamal be in Atlanta and I I like Jamal's energy. So I was like, I want him to be this. And I named him last Jamal's last name is Moore because you, and I was like, I wanted to feel like people you know. I wanted to feel like people that are your friends or you see like anywhere. And I think that was just me trying to give myself those heroes that I didn't have like in anime or in manga because I wanted that so so bad.
Mm. Mm. Dang. So that's so real. That's so real in terms of like being able to make genuine just black characters and and it's important to have canonically black characters. Like cuz I think I don't know, it's a little like it's a little hot take for me. I
You
don't
say it,
really
you
be
say
liking
it.
it when people make like black Kakashi or something and he has like the Killmonger haircut or like he's got like
I mean,
like it's like
at
okay
least
like
that's what
look
we
at
talking about.
yeah like this Naruto has black characters, just draw them or like just
So
make
many cool ones.
new yeah make a new thing, but I don't want black Naruto. I don't want black Sasuke. Like I'm cool on
Man,
that. Like, some people
brilliant.
can draw it and it can look kind of cool, but just and
Mm,
it's kind of cringy because like I think about like
mm,
if it was the other side and it was like a black character and then they turned the dude white, that would
yeah.
crack thunder in a lot of places, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
So,
I don't know.
yeah, I
I
feel
don't
it.
want no smoke with
Yeah,
that.
I've been on Twitter. I've seen enough. I'm like, hey, y'all got it. Could argue, I'm gonna argue on this app with y'all. Um, I do feel you on that because I think there are a lot of black characters. Even I like when people they'll make up a character. Like they'll be like, "Oh, this is my character. He's a OC. He's black, but he's a hunter from Hunter x Hunter, and he came from this place." Like I like when they do it that way. Because oh, Mikhail, he does a lot of that cool stuff.
I have his
He did
book
a one.
somewhere, one of these places. That
Yeah,
book he
yeah.
did. What is it called? Oh, it's been so
I
long.
got one too. It's with the two blonde kids, right?
Yeah.
Damn, I got that one.
And they were based off of like the Melanesian people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
like black people with naturally blonde hair. And it's like, I didn't even know that was, I didn't know that was real. I thought at first, I thought he was just drawing them like Super Saiyan-esque or something. But no, it's
Yeah.
like actually blonde hair black people out there.
And there's somebody with that exact same lineage, and they saw that and they were like, "This is cool. I feel represented." And I think that's like something that we need because there's too many people that aren't represented to not be represented, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like with the Spider Verse, like, dude, I'm like, there's a Spider Man for everybody. You cannot say you don't like any of these fucking spider people because there's a spider person for everybody. There's black, there's white, there's a couple disabled spider people. There's a fucking T-Rex. There's a T-Rex Spider-Man, bro. It's like you gonna like us. There's gonna be one Spider-Man you like. There's gonna be one Spider-Man you're gonna be like, yeah, that's hard, and that's it. And I just feel like it's nice because people of those different genres, people of those different genres, they can find their place in this and they can show other people, hey, it's okay to be this. It's okay to like what you like. It's okay to see yourself in this thing because when you don't see yourself, it's hard. What you say, when you don't know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When you see yourself, you can see yourself in it. When you see a black teacher, you can see yourself as a black person as a teacher. When you see a black superhero, you can see yourself as that black superhero, and it doesn't seem too far fetched because you saw it.
Mm-hmm. So then, can you? One thing too, I was doing a little bit of research on you, and
Yeah,
I came across the is it bigger than monoliths or larger than
yeah,
monoliths? Is like a it was an interview, and you spoke
uh huh,
about I don't know if this is exactly what you were referencing, but you're talking about black hairstyles in games, and I think about Monster Hunter all the time, and
yeah,
they've
yeah,
gotten a
yeah,
lot better. But I
uh huh.
remember once upon a time it was bald, no fade. It was just bald and like the hard cut off. It was like complete like skin and then like a level one. And
Yeah,
then there was and then there was like huge soulful afro. And then like and then there was like cornrows, right?
just straight
And
back.
that's it. There wasn't even waves, and the hairline is crazy, and all of them, and you're just like, oh my god. And the thing about it that was so like the thing about it that was so like good was that you were like,
Mhm.
um, people don't know. People just be thinking like this is just what black hairstyles are, which
Yeah,
it sucks. But if you got people who they're making this game and they're like in China or and they're in Japan, they don't be knowing like there's not. I don't think there's a whole lot of black people out there, and it's not even gonna be black people that you would see like here in the States. And so like
yeah,
there's a big part of it that's like okay, like fine, I get it, but um are there certain things? Are there any things that if given the floor, if given, input in these certain places that you would make sure that like game developers or just like artists or designers would include when it comes to black people? I want some good
yeah.
waves. They still haven't done waves. They
I
still
want
have
some.
not. I've never seen anybody spinning ever. It's
Yeah,
always they we just started getting fades. We just started getting good fades.
it was
And they're
good.
not even always good. Depending on the game, it's not good. But like I want a nice wave and
Mhm.
they always had dreads, you know, but they don't even be the it's always the long dreads. It's always like you got to be full roster. You can't be
Yeah.
like you can't have short dreads. You can't have no
Little,
little
pony
style,
to the side.
no space buns, no nothing. It's always
Yeah.
like you got to go full Bob Marley or you're bald. And like
It's like,
what are some
that's
things that
it.
you've always that you wish that the like people at least just knew about, you know, even if they don't include it, it's just like this does exist. Please, I beg you to try this.
I feel like it's just I think it's worth just deep diving into just black hair period. Like there's time periods of different styles that it's just like are amazing that they were doing the stuff they did with just the technology that they had. Like no internet, word of mouth, you saw it in a book, somebody just created it. And even when I was making a lot of those black hair videos, I honestly didn't know about a lot of braid styles. Like there was princess braids, there was like infinity braids. Like I didn't know about any of that. And I'm black right now. So I think it's just like having people really look at how dense cultures have different hairstyles with and why they have those hairstyles. And I loved researching about it. Like I'm writing a book about black hair now. And it's taken a couple years just because there's so many nuances, there's so many different ways it went. There's so like it's an and it's so many cool styles. I'm like, y'all, you would love to put this in a game. You would love to model this because they're just so fun. They're so different. And I wish that a lot of teams had like somebody with a diversity background or some kind of beautician background just to say, hey, there's different lock styles, there's different braid styles, there's different fades, there's different kinds of fades. Like if I seen a fatback in Monster Hunter, bruh, I'd die. I would die. I would die
What's
happy. Like
what's the
there needs to
fat
be a
back?
the
Is that
okay.
that's the little mullet, the little mullet thing when they got the beef patty back there? I'll be calling it the end piece of bread. It's like an end piece.
It is. I think they call it the South Dallas hair. I think
The
it
South Dallas.
depends depending on where you're at in the nation, in Birmingham, we just call them fatbacks because they look like a fucking fatback. But I would love to see a fatback in Pokemon. Like I'd love to see these styles in these places because, like, again, I can have this monster come out a ball, but you can't give me a fucking like Boosie fade in this fucking game. Like it has it, and I think it was hard for me to express this stuff because I didn't feel like I was super backed up a lot. Like I would talk about it, and oh my god, bro, I get a lot of ugly comments. I was like, I want to see this in a game, and like one girl that I used to know, she was like, "Well, how about you make a game?" I'm like, "Girl, oh, calm down. I want diversity. I don't feel like I have to make a whole fucking game just to get diversity. I feel like there's more people that feel like this than just me, and we should be able to have this. I can find so many videos, so many things on Pinterest. There's enough research already done where it just takes people to be like, "Hey, enough people enough people already care about it, but enough people have really told us we need this kind of thing. Let's put it into this." And I think that you would get a lot more users in a game. I think you would get a lot more people in gaming in a different light. I think you would get a lot more people seeing like, hey, I didn't know you could do this in games. I want to learn how to do this in games and try to make even crazier, complex, unique hairstyles. And I think that it wouldn't hurt anything. So why aren't we doing it as much as we can do it?
So true. So true. And I think even too, I don't know how tuned in you are to like the climate of games nowadays, but it seems like things are like some of the bigger corporations and like AAA titles and franchises are kind of on the fall, and
Mhm.
indie studios and like, startup games and these like three people teams, they're like on the
Yeah,
rise because it's like fresh new stuff that is representative of like what people want and what people care about, versus bigger titles are really just into like what's going to make a sale, but they don't really have a lot of stuff that resonates with the players. And man, it the more I read about it and the more I see stuff, it really motivates me to like put out and to do stuff and to like create things. And I'm curious to know how it affects you, especially because you're somebody who's been pushing their own story for years, and so
yeah.
like does that give you any new drive or any oil in your tank?
It definitely shows me that people do care when they see like a genuine project or they really see something that is something they haven't seen. And it's not just like, oh, this weird thing is just gonna die. It's like, no, this like weird thing made $1 billion, and wasn't a lot of people worked on it, like you said. And I think it helps me. It motivates me like even more to do things. Like right now, since I'm teaching, I can't like super go as hard, but I can still write. I can still like do things here and there, but it helps me not to quit because I see like, well, maybe I can't make this whole manga, but maybe I could write this thing, get it to a point where I could get it made into a live action thing, and people all have already seen what I've made, so it's not like I'm just shooting blind. It's like, oh, you want to turn that project into a full manga? I mean, a full like live action thing. Like, I feel like I could do that now and feel. I feel like it could get supported because so many small things, well, small creators are getting supported and things are just lifting off. Like if you told me about like a Five Nights at Freddy's movie happening, I'd be like, that I don't like I I guess people would. I'm not saying I'm not hating on Scott or anything, but I'm like, it's so niche. Like, if you told me when it came out that it would be this big thing, I probably would be like, oh, let me see it, because it's such a niche thing. But he had such a great community of people help and build this up and build lore and all this other backing to it that it became something because people believed. Like speaking of games, there's a guy named Bode, and he works at Epic now for Fortnite, and I think Fortnite has the best black representation ever. Like they have the best black characters, dude. They they really research hair, they research different skin tones, different cultures. Like I think that they have such a great handle on black characters and how to make them all different. And Bode is like he's fucking crazy. He he had just different skins drop since he's been there, and I'm like I could tell it was him because it was like, dude, this is how Wade's supposed to look. This is how Bun's supposed to look. Like I'm like, you put that extra sauce in it, and I know it was you. Like I know it was you because it didn't used to be like that. But yeah, I feel like they got a really good handle on black characters. And
Mm.
it's nice to see people caring about it. It's nice to see people hiring people that look like us to give us justice in these types of fields.
And it's like, man, y'all come in here and do this, man. I don't know what we do. Here, you do it.
We're so bad at it. We're such a bad game. It's like, hey, just give us the keys from. And I'm sorry, I'm the biggest Pokemon hater. I'm the biggest Pokemon hater because I know the potential. It's like when
Oh
you have a
man.
it's like when you have a team that you're really rooting for and you're like, our team sucks. We fucking hate this team. It's because you know the potential it can. And like,
Yes.
get too hype. I'm sorry. You know where it can be. I've seen so many crazy, cool black trainer designs. Like the one professor in a new game. I'm like, dude, that's sick. That reminds me of Jade Smith. Like, it's so cool. But I need y'all to widen these noses. I need y'all to make these lips bigger and character customization. I don't want to look like a white person that was just dipped in chocolate. No, I want to have black features too. Like I want, like I get it. It's not about the person, it's about the Pokemon. But I'm like, I feel like y'all, there are minor things we could really snap on. Like take 2 years off. Pokemon, take 2 years off. Think about all the stuff we've been crying and bitching about. Put it in the game. I saw a dude, he made a TikTok and he was talking about the different natures of Pokemon. And he was like, it would be cool if every Pokemon's nature had a different idol, like a idol animation. So if it was like timid, it would be like, or
Mm,
if it was like daring, it would be like, and I'm like, small shit like that, it's like it gives me more of a reason to play because we are at 2025. All these Pokemon should not look the fucking same. And I'm sorry, it might be a system issue, it might be a space issue. I should see 20 Pikachus not look the same. And like they do it with the side, I get it. Some of these niggas should have fucking like hair like this. Some should have like a bitten off tail. Some should be like spotted in different places. Like it should be a variety enough, like in the real world, where these Pokemon all look kind of different and it's not just like the same one over and over and over. And am I a 32-year-old man screaming about Pokemon? Yes. Because I was there from the beginning, bro. I was 6 years old and I know where you can go and I know what we can do. Y'all got the tools. You just need the platform. Like, all right.
yes. No, it's so real. That's so real. Like right now, in the midst of all these people completely shredding ZA, I
Yeah.
am replaying Pokemon Diamond like as we speak. I was playing that up till about like five something because like it's it's just that good. Like it's solid
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
and it just makes you look and I'm like, dang, y'all made this game like almost 20 years ago. And
Yeah.
why is what happened? You know, and um one thing that one little gripe I have is the the trainer character has completely lost his sauce. Like Ash,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the outfit, the like the get like the that whole like when he's just posted up like for the
Yeah.
train, that's fire. Or like even like Red and then like the dude from the Johto region with the little headband, like he was tight,
Yeah.
and like the Hoenn dude with like the white hair, and like
Yeah.
I mean they're all so cool. And then like they started going like this British route. They started having this little inspector cap and these little handkerchiefs and long socks. I'm like, what's going on? What why is he running around with hard bottom shoes? What is this? We in the grass and in the snow. You got on Steve Madden's what
I,
happened?
dude, I feel you. I think Black and White 2, that's where I was like, all right, this is probably where this shit stopped. Like, I love these, and Emerald was probably my favorite. But I feel you, it's it's one of those things like we have so much, why are we doing so little? We have so much technology, we have so many people, why are we doing so little? And I feel like it's a greed thing, like a Pokemon game come out every year and it's a new gimmick. Like I'm sorry, I hate a fucking bike Pokemon. It's like you have one purpose to be a bike. Like I hate a fucking sword and shield. Like you hold the sword, you hold the shield. Like Emerald, this fucker came from the sky. He is disrupting two fights. It's not a gimmick. Um, oh my god, what Restroom? It's like they all have lore, and I feel like with the newer games, it's not a lot of lore. It's just kind of like here's this new mechanic we snuck into this Pokemon. I hate, and I'm sorry, I hate all the Mega Evolutions. I feel like they don't matter. They don't. They're. It's like an anime movie. They're not canonical. It's just like you turn into this big thing, then you're done. It's like it don't stay that big thing, and something a malfunction. Like it it's it's becoming too much of a give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money, and not a what do the players want type of thing.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying before would be like a really good next step for them in terms of like just taking some time to like just okay, this is what we made, this is how it did, this is what people are asking about. How can
Yeah.
we find somewhere between what these people want and what we can do and like
Hmm.
go to and then actually like stress test your limits and not just like do the bare minimum but like
Yeah.
let's actually get a let's actually make a game of substance, especially because it ain't the hardware. Because they made better games on they like you said, they've made more with less, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know you can do it. Isn't it? You know, I don't know if it's a problem of like leadership. I don't know if like the designers are in there hooping and then like leadership is slapping it down or
Yeah.
what, but somebody need to chill out and get it going.
What's the one that's back in time?
Is it like the newer one?
Yes, the newer one, and they're
Is that
like in like a
Scarlet Violet, I think?
not Scarlet and Violet. They're like in a like an Indo era. Like they kind of have like samurai things on. The Pokeballs are like wooden.
Oh, Arceus. I think that what you're
Arceus.
saying.
That's great. That's like something I was like, oh, this is cool because it's like way different. Like you catch Pokemon different. There's different mechanics that make sense. Like that's where I was like, okay, y'all cooked on this one because it's canonical. It's showing how Pokeballs got like this, how some of these other Pokemon evolved. Like it felt genuine. And like I think with a lot of stuff, I just think it's genuine, not when it's just like, oh, here's for money. See you later.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I hope they get it together, man. Like I'm quite literally like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying. I mean, I ain't played on a DS probably like 13, 14 years or something like that, but it's actually cool.
Yeah.
It's been a good time. Um and in terms of like because I know that you're somebody who's been making your comic for so long. Like you've been
Mhm.
very consistent at it. And I know that like, teaching and things has like gotten in the mix, but I mean for as long as I can
Yeah.
remember, you were very like at it. And
Yeah.
how I mean, I'm not just asking on behalf of like viewers and listeners, but like for me too. Um how do you go about like you have this idea and like maybe you do a lot of writing and like you might have a sketch or two or something like that, but in terms of like
Uh-huh.
starting a thing, like starting a
Yeah.
story, I can have this premise and I have this grand goal, but I'm like, okay, well, what do I like? Does he wake up one morning? Do like is he at school or like I guess how do you kind of put that first foot on the ground, and then how do you go about like staying in it to a point where you can like where it becomes something, because you're not it's very rare that it'll just pop off after the first issue, the
Mhm.
first time you post it or whatever. You're gonna have to keep going, and there's got to be something in it that like you enjoy or that you want to keep pushing for it. So like how should we approach something like that if we have this brainchild and we want to bring it to a tangible form for people?
I would say just get help from friends. My homie Daniel, he helps me write Four Strikes. He does like character designs for him. Like I went to him just as a friend, like, hey, can you just like kind of edit these and like see if anything like looks cool. And he would just give me feedback as a friend. And then I was just one day like, hey, you want to be an editor? Like, you want to like look at text and look at this and put story input in? And he was like, yeah. And he liked a lot of the same things I like. We watched a lot of the same things. So it was nice to have somebody that knew where I was coming from with certain things. And I think just for me, that helped me out a lot because there's a lot of times I was just like, dude, this shit's not working. I want to quit. Or he'd be like, hey, read this. Or like, check this thing out. Or what if you thought about it like this? I think just kind of asking for help about it, even while it's still going, is a great thing. There is Akira Toriyama, he submitted to Jump. I forget how many times, but he submitted multiple times to get into Jump and never got in. And he was a good artist. I think it was like he needed that guidance, and one of the editors from Jump was like, "I see you, dude. I see that you're really trying. Let me kind of guide you into doing a thing that might help you or readership or get more of a more cohesive story." And they worked on Doctor Slump together, and people loved it. And then Dragon Ball Z came out, so it's like he had that person to help him, and he tried like mad times. I forget how many times he submitted, but you can't even think of Shonen Jump without thinking of Doctor Slump or Dragon Ball Z. And I think you just need people to bounce ideas off of and just kind of go off of and say, hey, is this cool? Hey, is this right? I had a lot of people give me great feedback about it. I had people give me feedback that was like, I don't get it. This doesn't make sense. Why is this? And I didn't take it bad. I was just like, well, I guess if I didn't read this kind of stuff and I didn't know about this stuff, it would be a hard read because you don't have this back end to kind of back it up. So I think just trying it and being open to suggestions will make you go a lot further because when you're in your own head, it's just you in your own head. So you're like, this sucks or this is great. And it's like you don't have that outside view to see how everybody else could see it. And I would say just keep at it. Like I have a I have like so many stories. I just kind of get to a point, then I like stop or like I kind of bounce around a bit. And sometimes you need to like rappers, they're like, hey bro, I had to live life to drop an album. Sometimes you really gotta just live life to like make a comic or drop a manga. And that experience will help you too because again, it's more genuine. It's not just you like pushing shit out. It's like, oh, this thing that this character's going through, I kind of went through that like 2 years ago, and that's why this took so long. And another big thing is burnout. Like just trying to go at your own pace. Like I was when I was starting off, I was really like, bam, I'm hitting this shit, I'm hitting shit, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, I'm going, and it was burning me out, bro. Like I was like a lot of manga artists get burnt out. I forget his name, but the guy that does Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, like he suffers from that a lot. And there'll be some chapters where he just has text and like maybe one picture, or like the pictures or the characters aren't like super fleshed out, but you get it. And sometimes you just got to do that. One guy that's super tough, his name's Yusuke Murata, and he did Eye
Oh,
Shield, and
the guy
yeah,
hand,
dude,
the God hand. Ugh.
it's like, hey, save some talent for everybody else.
Yeah, he's crazy.
This dude is crazy. It was a chapter where Kid Emperor was I think he was fighting the Phoenix Man. He had a I think it was Phoenix Man. He had a whole chapter, beautiful, flawless fight. He has a update. He's like, "Hey guys, I could have turned up a little bit more, so here it is, like different views." And I was like, "You don't have to snap like that, bro." But some people just be like, "Fuck it, I can put it out and snap like that." Do it if you want to. I would say that do that if you feel inclined to. Readers are gonna read. I already know somebody's gonna read Four Strikes in fucking 10 minutes, and it took me maybe 8 years to get what I got out now, and I'm okay with that. So think about that shit too, because it's like you want to have a good story, you want to have good art. A good story is always going to trump any art. I don't care what kind of art you put out. Good story is always going to trump good art. One that made One Punch Man, it was a web comic. He was a beginner artist, and now you see where fucking One Punch Man is now. He just drew what he could, put it out, submitted it, got another artist to read, figure things out, and look where it's at now. So another thing, just put it out, put it out, put it out, put it out. No matter how it looks, you can keep leveling up as you go. Uh, Attack on Titan look kind of different from the beginning to the end. Like everybody's going to look different, and it's just literally putting it out. Dragon Ball is more round, and Dragon Ball Z ends up being super sharp. Like it's just as an artist, you're going to change. All this shit's going to change and look different, and that's okay. You don't have to be the best out the gate. Just put it out.
Something so important about being able to get out on that imperfect couple of first steps. Because I even think
Yeah,
about something like One Piece. One Piece, I think, is like on top of the world right now. And
yeah.
those first panels of One Piece didn't look like that. Like, it's
Hmm.
not that they look bad, but they don't look like how they look now. I don't even think
Yeah.
I think nowadays it's more like, well, he might still be inking those traditionally, but at least the scans are so high quality they look digital.
Yeah.
And like before, it was like, man, it looked like somebody took a picture, like somebody had their phone and was like going over the
All right,
day. Like you could see the
let
crease in the book.
contrast up.
And I'm like,
Um,
yo, it be like that. Sometimes um just having that, and as long as it's got good substance, I think people will respect it for where it is, especially if you keep pressing at it and just and people start to see improvements, it's like they can't help but respect it because it's like, look, this is just where I was. What you want me to do?
It's like you just kept going, and like you're supposed to progress. It's supposed to be better. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't think you have to have perfect art. Don't think you have to have perfect color in any of that. Um, I redid a lot of the Four Strikes pages from when I was on Webtoons versus when I was in Saturday PM, just because I had got like a little more sauced up, and I wanted to do it for myself, and I felt great doing it because I was like I already had this layout, and I was like, oh, I just tweak this, and I could like knock stuff out a little bit faster. So if you want to, you can, but don't think that that's like the thing that you gotta do.
And when it comes to the art of making comics, I've recently, I wouldn't say recently, but I've
Hmm.
I've known some homies out in LA that do
Yeah.
comics. They're really big in the indie comic scene. Do you know about Nick Wynn and AJ Howard and Ty Goodwin?
Um. Hmm. Can you tell me anything they like wrote or?
So AJ Howard did Take Out Kings. It's
Okay.
his own story. I'm not sure if it's like in book form yet, but I know he's got some stuff out online. Nick
Okay.
Wynn has just I man, I can't remember the name of his comic, but I know he puts out like small stories, like short stories. I don't think he has like one big like IP that he's just pushing. And then Ty Goodwin
Yeah.
is the same where he does a bunch of like shorter stories and he doesn't have as many comics as like AJ and Nick, but like
Okay.
they're guys out in LA. They all used to work at like Cartoon Network, and they're
Hmm.
just some fire comic book artists now. And um, I've gotten into doing like I've been exploring that medium just a little bit,
Yeah.
and I got some ideas. I got some stories I want to tell,
Good.
and I want to know how what are some things you think about just in a technical sense when it comes to like materials, paneling,
Yeah.
writing, guiding the eye through the page? What are some things just like I guess quick do's and don'ts that you feel would be really useful, or like maybe things that took you a minute to learn, but like, oh, this
Mm.
this is some key stuff right here.
I'd say look at just examples. Read stuff that you like, read stuff that you hate. Like read stuff that you don't normally look at. Like look at a genre of comic that you don't normally gravitate towards and just look how they do it. And that was one thing when I was starting. I was just reading anything spooky, anything I didn't like, anything that kind of I wanted the vibe for, just seeing how it looked. And some stuff like is so detailed, I can't look at it like I love My Hero Academia, but for a certain point it gets so detailed I can't look at it. Um JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, great series. Sometimes I'm like, dude, I probably will never read this, but I respect the craft. It's just hard. Like, and some people love a real detailed panel. I'm like, dude, it's just something with me where I'm like, hey, let me know what's happening. Let me see the text, and I'm good. And I try to think about as a reader, is this too confusing? Is this shocking? I put little funny things in, like little Easter eggs, like probably from my friends or probably from other artists I know. What else? I would say just work within your means. Like when I first started Four Strikes, I was buying manga paper by the stack, and I was trying to do it all traditional, and I was like, this shit is not gonna work, gang. This shit is not gonna work. So there's a lot of cool apps you can use. There's a lot of ways you can do what you want without buying anything. I would just say be frugal because if it's something you're continuing to do, you want to just keep it free, keep it fresh, keep it good on your pockets because it's a lot of time you're putting in. Um, yeah, I would say iPad is good. Hell, got a laptop, do it that way. If you want to do it the traditional way, that's good too. It's kind of just see what works for you, and over time you'll see how to kind of cut corners and make it a little more easier on yourself.
Mhm. And that's another big important topic too, is like being able to
Yeah.
start simple. It doesn't necessarily have to
Mhm.
be small, but simple, because it's funny, like once it's almost like a full circle thing where like you start off, with very little, and then like you get all these different things. Maybe you get more colors, or you get more paints, or more brushes, or more and then as you get better and better and better, you start to pick favorites, or you start to just find a formula that works, and then you just go back to like, yeah,
Like
this is all I
simple.
really need. This is all I need right
Yeah.
here. Just this and this and this, and we good. And
Mhm.
do you think that that cycle is something that people just have to go through every time, or is it that like people can, like, I find myself like advising people like, yo, you don't need all that. Just start with this. But then they be like, nah, I want to do this. Like, I want to try this out, or I want this for me. And I'm like, man, I can't fight it,
Yeah.
but is that just me like talking on the other side of the hill, or is that something like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I feel like that's is one of those things like you don't need it, but it's like they got to see that they don't need it for them to get to that point. Um, it's so funny now. Like I like manga is very technical and all that. Dude, I like doing like when I paint now, I'm blocking shit out. Like I like construction paper art where it's just like the shapes and it's just like boom boom. It's like I've done so much, like you were saying, I've done so much of that. I'm like, I just like stuff to look like shapes and look like a thing and represent a thing, and I'd be cool with that. So I think you kind of have to go through that hero's journey of figuring out what you like and what you want to be, what you really like, and what you're really going to end up with. And I think it's a great way just to figure out that, oh, you don't need a lot of stuff to stunt. Like you don't need a lot of colors to stunt. I think everybody just needs to kind of go through that to see that, oh, this wasn't. It's like, ah, and then it's like, oh, wait, I'm good. Like I don't need to do all that stuff to, like the guy that does Yu Hakusho. Like he's like, oh, I don't need to draw a whole big drawn out fight scene. It's like you'll get what I'm talking about because I put the words in this simple like silhouette of a person.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah.
So
But I don't
true.
think you're wrong for telling people that. I think you're just like showing them, hey, it can be easy. Don't overthink it. But sometimes you just gotta let the horse find the water. A lot of times, like I have to find my own water. People be like this, that, and this. I'm like, I don't know. And then I find it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I understood it better because I had to find it on my own.
It's interesting. I've always been, I think I've grown up being somebody who like listens. I've been one of those people that like listens to advice and stuff like that. Like, and it's not to say that like I've never not listened to advice, or like I've listened to every single thing people have said or anything like that. Um,
Yeah,
but it's funny sometimes to see where it's like, I don't know. It's interesting because like I'll be like, yo, you go down there, and then you step on a mine, and a whole everything is blown back. And you're like, yo, don't go over there. It's a mine. You're like, oh, word? Let me go see. Like, yo, look, I'm
right.
my I'm all tore up, man. What you mean? It's like, I gotta go see. Let me see real quick. Bam. You know what? You was right. It
Sometimes,
was a mine over there. You're like, bro, I tried to tell you. What you
yeah,
mean?
sometimes it take that, and hey, sad lesson to learn, but you'll learn it and you'll remember it a little better. Like
Yeah, there's some people. I mean, I think that that is I mean, that experience, pain, and time are like amazing,
mhm,
amazing teachers. Because I was just
yeah,
watching, I was just watching a podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson yesterday, and he
okay,
was talking
yeah,
about, the interviewer was like, "Do you have any advice for me? Being that you're 66, and I'm in my 30s. Do you have anything you would say?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to tell you anything, because like the only reason I know this is because I went through this." And he's like,
yeah,
people will give their kids everything they didn't have and then wonder why they can't do anything that you can do. And it's like, well, because they didn't have to go through the things that you went through. And they're like, where did I go wrong? That's where you went wrong. You gave them everything. And then that way they didn't have to learn to fight or to hunt or to do anything. And
That's true.
it's interesting. Like it's like, yeah, so I mean, just living life, that's the best teacher. That's where you're gonna get all of that. That's where you're gonna get all that info. And like, I mean, the whole strong sailors, they got strong in the tough water, not in the calm stuff. So,
Yeah, and
it's
like
real too.
you don't want to rob anybody of that. Like I feel like struggle helped me figure out a lot of stuff, and like I was saying, like with the paper thing, like there was a lot of times I just had to figure it out. Like even when I was like learning graffiti, like I didn't have no graffiti mentor. Like I wasn't at the time in a physical crew. I just had to like go on Flickr, go on YouTube, learn shit, like try a lot of bad stuff, try things I didn't, and found my way. And it made more, it meant more because I had to actually climb that ladder a lot alone. So when I did get to these places, it felt better, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting asked to paint here." I was like, "Yeah, that this feels good." I wasn't trained to do this. I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have like a lot of stuff that some people have. I had to just go out and get it, and that you'll appreciate it more too. So like in some aspects, I can see it. Like it's not like a don't be headstrong all the time, but like sometimes struggle leads to a better thing, or struggle leads to a different way to figure it out. And dude, like my biggest thing, anytime I spray painted, it was like I ran out of a color, and that shit would kill me every time. And I'd be like, dude, I can't buy this. I'm literally here, and I need to get it done. Like I need to get it done in a specific amount of time. And it made me have to use my brain to be like, well, what color is like this? Or how could I put a bubble or some kind of doodad in here where it doesn't distract from the piece, but it enhances it? So I think that that helps a lot of people, like you're saying, just struggling through it. And then it's like, that shit hurt it, but I got something out of it that helped me level up a little more or level up in a way that if someone told me it wouldn't have equated to what I'm doing now.
Speaking of doing graffiti,
Hmm.
um, I'm curious to know about the famous OBK. Is there, can you tell me
Yeah,
a little bit about them?
yeah, that's a group out of Texas, and we've been tight for maybe probably over probably over 10, 13, 14 years. I met them through Flickr, and like the leader Mallow, he saw my stuff on Flickr. His brother Rogue, rest in peace. He did a lot of stuff on Flickr, and I just was like, that's when I actually had internet like at home, and I think I was like in 12th grade, and like it was like the world opened up. I was like, dude, and like so many people were like doing like characters. That was like my thing because I was like okay with letters, but I wanted to like kind of stunt with characters. And so many people were doing just letters and things. And like I saw this stuff on Flickr and like it was like real sick stuff. Like it was like really cool letters and like with characters mixed in. Some dudes just did characters. And I was like, dude, like I hadn't had a crew. Like I tried getting into like crews like locally and it just I couldn't like I just wasn't good enough. So I couldn't be in it. And they really was like, nah, we see something in you, so like we can just yeah, we can put you down. And they were just nice to bounce ideas off of. Like we kind of had the same like flavor of like characters, like we like really like gross looking stuff. And it was just nice to have like a like-minded group of people that were doing the same things I was doing, and like I was a part of that. And sometimes members they chill for a little bit, then they come back, or like people are like, all right, I'm kind of done with it for now, and then they'll pop out. And I've never met them in person, but like I still keep in contact with them. I still like try to show love when when I'm on the internet and stuff. And they still do a lot of stuff in Texas. We all kind of go through dry spells, but yeah, those that was like I wore that like a badge of honor because it was nice to feel wanted. It was nice to feel like I had people that wanted me to be in a crew when I was like screaming and begging pleading for people like, let me get down with paint, let me do this, and people wouldn't give me the time of day. And it was funny because when I started doing the things on my own, or like I started just kind of going out because I was the only one in Birmingham that was a part of OBK. And when I started doing stuff and get more momentum, like those same people that were like, you can't be in the crew, they'd be like, oh man, you're cool, we should paint one day. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking paint with
Now
y'all.
you
Like, what
want
the
to paint.
fuck?
Now you
I was
want to
like,
paint.
nah. Back in, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Y'all want to fuck paint? No. And it was weird because that was like one of the first times I saw like people treating me different from another time they saw me. Like I did a lot of work, and they treated me different because they saw that I had this vision and I was like good at it. And like I was still just doing characters, and like people were talking shit. They were like, "You got to do letters." Like I'd go over people, and like you go over somebody, you just make sure it's like legible. You make sure it's good, and like people get mad. They're like, this isn't." It's like, dude, I use the same amount of colors. I just do a different thing. Like I use the same amount of colors, same amount of time. It's just a different thing. And times changed, so like more people were more like, okay, that shit is cool. But yeah, man, they were always just doing that, and it was one of those like when you see it, you can see yourself with it, and when you see somebody else do it, it's like I can do that too, and they were doing that. So it helped me see that I wasn't dumb for doing characters. I wasn't lame for doing characters. Like, no, they were doing cool shit and getting recognition. I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this same thing, and it's possible to do the same thing. And
Mm,
yeah, they really turned me up. So I probably wouldn't even be spray painting still if they never gave me that chance. And I probably wouldn't have like the knowledge and know how and just reasons to stunt. Like I wouldn't have any of the cool things that I do if I didn't see them first. Yeah, shout out to them.
mm. What does OBK stand for?
A lot of things. People people will ask me, and then I'll be like, only Blake knows. It's a lot of obscene ones. I'm not gonna name. um, over being kind. It kind of just you can kind of flex it wherever you feel like it. Um, damn, yeah. I don't know the original what it means. Okay, yeah, it was odd bastard kids.
Hmm.
It was we were kind of like odd future e type of like scary type of shit. So yeah, that was the original one. But we just kind of change it depending on like how we feel at the time or whoever asks.
Hmm.
Uh
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's been cool.
Have you found that like I'm hearing, I mean, even the fact that, you're part of this crew and you said you
Yeah.
never met them in person, but like you guys been real tight for a long time. And then I think
Hmm.
about like how we've known each other for years, still haven't met
Yeah.
you in person,
Yeah.
but like, you're out there, and then even like the other people in our circle, we're all in all different parts of the world. Does that motivate you to do a lot more traveling, or are you a big traveler? Do you have like a big bucket list of things? What's your relationship with travel?
Honestly, I just was anti-travel for a while. My ex wasn't like a big plane person, and I feel like let a lot of that kind of hit the back burner because I was like, well, if she can't come with me, I don't want to go, and I shouldn't have done that. And now that we're no longer together, and I have a I have a better relationship, and a better relationship that is more supportive of me doing those things. I think that I feel like, oh, that list I can do that. Like I don't have to feel like I have to stay at home because somebody can't do something, or like they're scared for me to do something. It's like I feel a little bit more supported to take those trips. Like I probably, if you asked me like 2 years ago, I'd probably be like, maybe when I'm 40, and now I'm like, oh, I could do this shit like right now. Like I could just go and know somebody, get some places to paint, get some cool pictures, find some cool stuff, and I feel like now more than ever, I feel like I can kind of like flap my wings a little more, and Atlanta has always been a place where I'm like, dude, I gotta get some shit there. I gotta be there like when I was in Birmingham, it was right there, and I was like, dude, I have to be like it was just always just calling me. Like all my friends were from there, like shit that was happening. I went to Living Walls one year, and I was like, dude, this shit is so fucking cool. Like everybody just painting walls, and it's like people that don't even live in the States are painting walls, and I was like, I have like it's so much stuff happening. I'm like, I have to be here, and I feel like me not being able to be there for so many years, and now I'm finally getting that chance. It's like all perfectly in sync because it's like now I feel like I could stunt anywhere and be fine. Versus back then where I'm like I'm kind of okay at graffiti. Now I'm like I can talk my shit now. I'm bust through at least like a couple hundred cans. Like I feel like I could like be tough in any place I go. So I think that now more than ever, I'm just really wanting to travel and just get out there. Like my girl, she's really supportive. She's really like, let's go places, let's look at things, let's have experiences. And it's so nice because it's like, yes, I need to get out of my bubble. I need to see how things are different. And I feel like finally now I can do that because I'm ready. Like it's like in a game when they have like shit blocked off. I feel like I got enough skills. I got enough people skills, painting skills, where it's like I could go to a different city. I could live in a different city now, and I'd be fine. I'd find art connects. I would find all the stuff, and it feels better. So I think that I'm like super down for traveling, and even with teaching, like I have the summers off, and I'm like, dude, like that's gonna be my like. That's gonna be the time where if I want to paint, if I want to do a mural jam, if I want to do a graffiti jam, that's the time I'm gonna do it. And even now, I could take off and do that. I just like kind of being in the zone when I'm like in the art mode, and I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm spray painting. I come back and I'm like, oh, I like now I got to figure out how to how to navigate this. But yeah, dude, I'm like stoked on traveling, and yeah, Atlanta's the place I'm like I got to stay there for a couple days and like tear some shit up.
Absolutely, man. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know when you pulling up.
Well,
We're gonna take care of you.
dude, it's people is Drew, Rico, damn, it's like a billion people I'm thinking of, and I'm like, I'm gonna flip the fuck out when I meet everybody because it's like finally I get to like see this person in the flesh. Like you're real. You like it's gonna
There's no
it's gonna be great.
screen.
It's no,
There's no rectangle that cuts your body off.
yeah, I'm hyped. I'm just gonna say that I'm really hyped.
Yeah. I try to find I try to keep you in the well, it seems like you stay in the loop with events already anyway,
Yeah,
but I try to send some events your way if like if I know a lot of people are gonna be there. Cause then that way you don't have
mhm,
to do a whole lot of like coordinating with a bunch of people. Like if everybody's
yeah,
just
it's
gonna
just
be at this one spot, you can just
mhm,
pull up over there. Cause we do a
no,
lot
that's,
of do a lot of festivals. And
yeah,
like I mean little jams, just stuff where we just get together. And
yeah,
so yeah, that's definitely doable. I have to keep you in the loop with that kind of stuff.
yeah,
But
man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's about time. It's about time everybody met.
oh yeah, yeah, man. Shoot, it's one of them things you just had to. That's just part of it, It's just adding to the lore, It's
Yeah.
cool, and I'd rather it be in this light where you feel more prepared and you feel more ready and excited versus like you're going out here, but like you're afraid you might, be messing stuff up back home, or maybe you're like more scared or you don't
Yeah,
feel like, it seems like you
and I'm
just
not like yeah.
yeah, it seems like you're just better suited for it now. So like it just makes for a
Mhm.
better trip overall for both sides involved too.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely agree.
it should be cool. And then one thing that's so beautiful about traveling, especially for art and when you're meeting other artists, um, man, every city got it. Every city has that place. We are a genre of people. We are a type because there's a little bit of us everywhere, and it's not just black people. It's not just like it's like the that 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 creative, that artsy fartsy, that that muralist, that
Yeah,
writer, that just I don't know exactly the word to describe it, but it's just that type. And
Uh-huh.
every city you go to, there's a spot for us. And some places it's small, it's real tight knit, it's little. Some places it's half the city, you
Yeah.
know. And but we're out there, and it's so cool how we'll just find each other, and we know when you're like, oh yeah, you
It's like you can look at the swag and you're like,
yeah, like
"Ah."
you want us like. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to connect with those types of people. And whenever it's cool because they're able to show you how they do the same thing differently, and then you're able to take
Mhm.
little pieces back, to your place. Um
Yeah.
and you can get a lot of that knowledge just like through communicating, over
Mhm.
platforms. But when you're actually there, and like you're with the people, and then you'll even meet people who, like, maybe it might be some really cold old head that's out there
Yeah.
killing stuff, but he don't be on social media because he too old for that. And so he's
Yeah.
like, and so you wouldn't, you meet people who you would have otherwise not met. And so, like, man, and it
Exactly.
just expands your mind, your creativity. Like, is I'm excited for you, not even just for Atlanta, but for anywhere you go. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna do wonders for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like it's time.
Hmm. Man, I feel like we went to so many different places in this conversation. Do
Yeah.
you think is there anywhere in particular you feel like we've missed, or we've overlooked?
Um, I think we kinda hit really everything. Yeah, this was great, man. I had so much fun. I've been looking forward to it all day. Like, I've been looking forward to it since you asked me. I was like, "Ah," like
Yeah,
I it's this has been a great conversation, and it's just nice that you're doing this with everybody and just getting that input and helping people see artists just in a different light. Because like at the end of the day, we all are people. So just because I'm talking about painting or manga, like you can apply this to really anything you want to do in life. And I think people, like we kind of talked about on the pre part, like people need to see that, and people need to know that we're not just like, oh, I'm an artist. I do like, nah. It's like we go through broke periods, we go through rich periods, we sad, we happy, like we go through all the emotions. We just happen to do this thing that is like also a hobby, but also something that we like to do. And I think that this is a great platform to do that and just show people just how life is for us.
absolutely. Man, I appreciate the kind words. And I think, I mean, the show is only as good as the guest, and so, like, I think that, I mean, you and this episode is one that will definitely, I mean, it's definitely in one of my favorites. It just
Thank you.
it's I already knew it was gonna be a good conversation, even from the tester call yesterday. I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hyped. This is gonna be a lot of fun. And even just from the things we talked about, um, I can just tell it's gonna be a lot of fun to, like, listen back, and then, like,
Yeah.
even I can imagine how people will receive it too. I think it's just gonna be a great time overall. And at the same time, it addresses real topics. It's like we've been playing Fortnite, and we've been
Mhm.
addressing real
Yeah.
topics, but then, like, it's in a
Well,
way, like, it's in a way that's funny, and it's in a way that's, like, easily digestible as well. So, um,
yeah.
yeah, man, I think it's the perfect medium. And I think it falls in line with what the show is really setting out to do. So I appreciate you taking the
Mhm.
time to do this episode with me.
Yeah, no problem at all. Dude, Doodle snapped on that like intro with the pin. Dude, I was like, fuck yeah, that I was like, this is perfect. He's cool. He it's so many cool people. It's so many cool artists. And like not just cool in like what they do, like cool as people. Like and yeah,
He's
it's a lot
crazy.
of cool. He's so sick.
And I don't know if it was something where maybe he fell off my radar for a while, or what, but it felt like, cuz he was always like, he was never bad, but it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he was like at this level, and it's like, okay, he's cool. But then it, like,
Mhm.
something happened. I don't know if he, like, I don't know what, like if he ate a mushroom or what, and like he just like he got
Yeah,
crazy, and I'm like, dang, he's like
like his
snapping
animations
the
are yeah, like
crazy stuff.
I'm like, damn, I gotta get to that level. I gotta get to that level with my animations because, like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's just different, man. He's living different. I don't know what he got going on. And even the mascot, like the mascot that you see like on the page and stuff, like
yeah.
he designed that. Like I have since
Oh,
like redrawn him and like I've kind of like made him my own, but he I just asked him like, "Hey, can you just make an intro for me?" And he's like,
that's
"Yeah."
great.
And then like he made that guy and he's like, "Yeah, this is you in like Vertex one, like this is basically like my persona when I do the podcast. Like this is you,
Yeah,
and you're doing this, thing, and then you make the podcast. And I was like,
damn,
damn, that's
that
crazy.
is so
Like,
sick. That is crazy,
yeah,
and it fits
he's
so. It's perfect. Like the logo's perfect. Like the color scheme, like everything's just like this. This is like Chef is great. I love it.
it's one of them things. Like over time, the very first episode did not look like this. It didn't feel like this. It didn't have. I think the first episode, I was using a different software to do the calls. Our
Yeah,
call dropped like 8 times in the course of an hour and
and
a half.
now you
It was
know. Now
crazy.
you know. And hey, you have that person back on. Like, hey,
Yeah,
look at us now.
yeah, yeah. There's a closing tradition I have on the podcast where it's the vertex, it's the meeting point between two places. And so I want to give you the opportunity to attempt to reach out to any person, place, or thing that exists to make a connection. So if there's like a dream client, if there
Oh shit.
is like a friend from middle school you never got to reconnect with or whatever, just giving you the platform to put it out, and hopefully like as this channel and thing grow, as the network grows, hopefully you
Yeah,
can find yourself connecting with that thing.
Greg Mike. Uh,
Oh
I
man.
I think yeah, I think he's a cool dude. I've always been like, oh man, I wish I had time to find the sketchbook, but I have a sticker of his, and this shit had to be from like 2000, maybe 13, 14. And it's just like the mouth, and it's like a saying in it. Like it was just when he was like doing the mouths and stuff.
Hmm.
And like I've always like wanted to meet him. Like I went to Living Walls. I really wanted to meet him. I was still young, so I didn't know like I didn't have any. I was just going there with friends, so I was like, shit, I don't even know what he looks like. But yeah, he's one of those people that I looked at with characters, and I was just like, dude, he's been stunning with characters, so I know that this is a thing that you can do and you can be successful with. And I would just like to meet him, just like to pick his brain. And yeah, he does great work.
Mm,
I guess that's really all I can say.
that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I don't know how busy he is. I know he's a super busy guy, so like I was just throwing it out there just because I'm like, hey, you're there. I know y'all do stuff sometimes, but yeah, he was someone I always looked at, and I was like, yeah, this is keeping me going. Like he's going, I want to get there too.
Cool. Yeah, man. Got you. Got you. Who else would you like to see on the podcast one day? Now that we've had this conversation and you can,
Yeah.
like the feel, the vibe,
Mm.
who would you like to have on the podcast one day?
My homie Rob Potter, he's sick, dude. He's like what I wish I could be right now. Like has he has a comic called Pigeon Man, and just the lore building that this dude does, I'm like, dude, I wish I could like strap myself to a chair to get this story so precise but like so dense like he has it. And like there's been times where I'm like, I can link this story and this story, but it's so far away. But him, he organically does it in a way where everything makes sense. It could be a whole different type of series that these characters are from, but he writes it and positions them in such a way where it makes sense, and it's not like it's a genuine, like again, it's a genuine connection that these characters know these characters from this story. and I've known him since like maybe 2019, and he's like my homie. I've known him for so long. We talk about comics, art, and stuff, and I feel like he's somebody that really a lot of people will love, like just off personality, and like when you see his work, you'll love him even more because it's such care and such realness that you don't get a lot in things. It's like, oh, this shit is cool, but it's not real, or this shit is real, but it's not cool. It's like he really puts all that together into his anything he does, and it's just been so cool watching it unfold and seeing where I met him at versus where he's at now. And like I can give you his Instagram, his information, and yeah, he's just a sick dude. Like
Mm,
I'm like thinking of all the stuff I've seen him do and just where he's at now, and I'm like, yeah, people need to know. Like more people need to know Rob. More people need to know about Pigeon Man. More people need to just dive into his world and see like this shit is like crazy good.
mm. Okay, yeah, definitely check him out for sure. And just one more thing in connections, I want to connect
Yeah.
you and AJ Howard specifically because
Yeah.
I think y'all
Wait.
two,
Does his one of his characters has like a hot top, right?
not exactly. You might be talking about maybe Deshaun Mahone,
Shit.
but
It's like if I
him
see a picture, I'll know him.
because I know that AJ he does have a character with a high top. He does have
Okay,
one. It's not the main character, but he has one that has like a high top.
yeah, I think we might follow each other, but I'm gonna recheck after the call.
Uh huh. Yeah, because I think if y'all don't know each other already, I think y'all would gel together so well. And like,
Yeah,
yeah, there's no reason y'all shouldn't know each other. And I think y'all be like, oh, where have you been?
it's like oh, it's weird. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's
right.
crazy, and especially because y'all both like to do art. The reasons you guys do the art that you do, like just better black representation, making the characters
Yeah,
you wish you would have seen. I mean, he's very heavily inspired by Akira Toriyama as well. I mean, it's just
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, it's similarities. Yeah,
hmm Yeah. And then man, I had an off question I just wanted
yeah.
to put out. I don't know if this question will end on a sour note or not, but
That's
um
fine.
but I think about uh Cartoon Network
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how
yeah.
like man, I know you wanted to work with them for like forever.
Mhm.
And like
Yeah,
and I know that they recently kind of like closed down or like it technically like doesn't exist anymore. And
yeah.
I wanted to know if you ever got the chance to work with them in any capacity, and then if you didn't, like how does that feel? Because it's
Mhm.
like dang it, like I've
Yeah.
been wanting to do this, like, and you can't anymore, or like not really.
Yeah, not in the same capacity. I feel like when I was really hungry for it, I think I was like really like I want it bad. And as I got older, as the industry got older, I saw a lot of things that I was like, damn, do I really want to do this? Like, like it's such a wiggly, I guess like an unstable genre because like studios like you were saying studios are getting shut down, shows get canceled, this that and the other. It kind of started seeing like I was very bitter about it when I was younger, but then as I grew and like saw how things was, I was like maybe this just wasn't for me. And they still do things with the network, it's just not going to be the studio. And like it, oh, dude, it was. I feel so bad for younger Blake because I was really trying to get in that bitch bad. I even there's a Cartoon Network hotel like an hour away from here, and I even applied to that, and I was like, this is gonna be how I get in. I'm gonna see an executive. I'm gonna throw him my portfolio, and I'm in that bitch. And that so it was like I was very upset at the time, but now I feel like how you were saying, like how many small people were doing things and they were getting big recognition. I think my main thing was I wanted to tell my stories, and I wanted to get into Cartoon Network to tell my stories. And now that I'm an adult, now that I see where things are going, I don't necessarily need Cartoon Network so I can tell my story. I could animate things, or I could get a book, and maybe they pick it up, or maybe another network picks it up. So I think the desire to work there was more so to be able to share my story and stuff I liked, and it ended up being me being able to share my stories and do what I like. And it could go to a bigger scale tomorrow. But I think that I felt at peace when I first got to that. Well, when I got to that point, this is always like, even with kids, it's like kids cry and they're like, I'm angry. And it's like, why are you angry? I don't know. And it was me like, why do you want to do this? Because I want to. Why? I don't know. And now I'm figuring out this is why I want to do it, because I want to show my story. So I think it's okay that I didn't get to do that, because I feel like I wouldn't be able to handle it. It would have been stressful, and it would have ruined my view of Cartoon Network and how I see this kind of creative field. So I think it was a blessing in disguise that I didn't get to work there, because if I worked there, I wouldn't be where I'm at now to be able to do the things that I can do just by myself. And I'm like, I could kind of like write a pitch Bible, uh, Kickstarter out. I know voice actors, I know animators. I could get this shit popping if I really just push to do it. And now that I see I can do it, it's not as big as a, oh, I need it. It's like, you can do it, but do it when you feel comfortable, and do it when you have that time, so you can make it genuine and make it have a purpose, not just pushing it out to push it out. Yeah, I think it just kind of worked out the way that I needed. Like, I still love Cartoon Network. I got onto a I got into their roster where they have like, it's like a Excel spreadsheet where they have like different people that, oh, if you're an animator, if you're interested in this, they just have your little contact. And I was like, that was good enough for me, because at least they have my contact and know of me. So it's like, I don't think that it won't not happen, but I'm glad that everything is happening how it is.
That's beautiful. That's a great answer. You know, I can resonate with that a lot too. I didn't
Hmm.
have a specific company that I wanted to work for, but
Yeah.
more so just in video games, and like wanting to just do uh that kind of work. I'm like, oh, I wanna work at a
Mhm.
game studio. I wanna be a character designer so bad, so bad, so bad, so bad. You know, and
Mhm.
you throw portfolios at the wall like crazy, and
Yeah.
it bears no fruit, holds no water, it is what it is. And
Mhm.
but then at the end of the day, it's like, you get this job, you're not gonna be drawing your characters. You're gonna be drawing some other
Oh,
people's stuff. You're gonna be
you might not
drawing some,
like you might not
yeah,
like this.
yeah. And so it's like, it is cool now that like you can take all the expertise that you got from like pursuing this thing, but now you could just use
Mhm.
it to make the thing that you would ultimately love more than like a show that you helped make.
And like, I was really like how you were. I was wanting to be a character designer. Then I figured out like what I really wanted to do is be like a development executive, where I'm like, they're like, hey, we need a show ages 3 to 6, and it's about dinosaurs. Go. And I find those people, I make that pitch Bible, I kind of coordinate everything, and then say, hey, here's what I have. Y'all figure out how it's animated. Like, that was like the main. I was like, oh, I didn't really want to do a character design job, but I know how to do it, and I wanted to tell my story, and that's a person that could tell a story. So even the position I thought I wanted changed as well. So yeah, it's cool getting to that point, and I'm like glad that you're seeing that it's not like, oh, it was for nothing. It's always going to be like, you can take something from anything. And through the portfolio shit, I was like, oh my god, I'm like, what more do you want from me? I'm literally like busting my ass. I'm doing studies. I'm drawing skeletons. I'm doing turnarounds, and now we're better at it because we figured it out.
drawing the skeletons. I resonate with that in a painful way. Cause it's like you find yourself doing all this. Like I'm drawing props. I'm drawing like glasses of water and like clocks because they told me that was my way.
And it's like that was the thing. It was like you might not even be there as a character designer. You might be for props or background or something that you don't even like to get to that. And someone showed me like a graph of like the people on a production team. It's like maybe two character designers, maybe, and everything else is background, layouts, this, that, and the other. And yeah, that shit was just like, yeah, dude, this might not be for me right
Mm.
now. It's a the people that get it, God bless them. But it's no one should feel bad if they don't get it because it's a very competitive field.
And it's like it takes a certain type of artist. And it's not to say that like that artist is better than you or
Hmm.
anything, but it's just a certain type of artist, and like
Yeah,
it's- it just be like that sometimes.
that's true.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
man, okay, well, good. I'm glad that that's your outlook on it. I was like, because whenever I found that out, you were one of the first people I thought about. I was like, no, like Blake had
Dude,
always wanted to work there.
I was crushed. I was like, and like I had got something from the Cartoon Network store in Atlanta before it closed, and it was like a hat, like it just had CN on it, and I was like, shit, that's where I wanted to be working at, and then I was like, all right, well, it's still on the table somewhere, and yeah, it was sad seeing it, but I was like, yeah, this is just the state of animation right now, and I need stability, and it's probably just better this way.
Mhm. Hmm. Oh, good, good. I'm excited to see you put those skills to to push your own ideas. I'm still a big fan of Four Strikes. I
Thank
like
you.
seeing like dang curved bat. And
Yeah,
like I enjoy the
I appreciate.
characters. I think that they have a lot of flair and a lot of energy to them, and I think they're a lot of fun. I think more people should know about them. And so, yeah, I'm rooting for you. I'm a fan
I
of all
appreciate
the
it.
stuff that you make, and yeah, man, like any way I can support, I'll do just that.
Hey, likewise, man. Like you got to keep crushing shit because it's like nobody can do the stuff Cam can do. I want to see the stuff Cam can do. So I'm always for it. I'm always down to if I can come out to any of the shows. I'm always down to come out and just hang out with y'all. And yeah, it's nice to see everybody still doing their thing and just flourishing.
Mhm. Man,
Yeah,
cool. Thank you so much once again
yeah.
for your time and your expertise and your anecdotes and the jokes, all of it, man. It was a
Thank
great,
you.
great time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was fun. Yeah, I had a lot. I had a blast. I don't get to do stuff like this normally, so this was like this was top of my October. I was like, yes, 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 and this is my favorite month, so I was like, this is so perfect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Cool. All right, man. Well, we will catch you a little later, and good luck with
yeah.
everything, man.
Thank you. Same to you as well. Have a nice one, Cam.
All right, man. Same to you. Thank you so much for watching the episode. One of my favorite things about doing this podcast is hearing about when someone resonates with something we said. It's truly the reason I continue to make these happen. Comment down below what stuck with you, and we can continue the discussion further. Also, consider liking and subscribing. It helps me bring in more amazing creatives and helps me make this show better for you all every episode. Catch y'all next week.